Welcome back, everyone. This is Betska, the Guru Coach with Raj. Welcome to Borderless Leadership. And our guest today is Bimal Raj, who's the author of this outstanding Amazon best-selling book, What Next? We encourage you all to order it. So, Raj, you have a question for our esteemed guest.
Yeah, Bimal.
Yes, Raj.
How to get over this kind of deep trauma? Because when these kind of situation comes in our life, so we lost our faith with divine power, God, each and everyone, because that situation is not easy.
True. Okay, so this is multiple levels to it. Okay, in fact, in the book towards the end, I've put all my learnings together and I've given two chapters. One is called the What Next mindset. Second is the What Next method. So the most important, the starting point is to reach a state of mind where you're willing to ask what next. Reaching that is very important, because when I was in my blaming and whining and all kinds of victim mode, okay, so I was not looking ahead. I was only looking behind of all the things happened and the injustice done to me and all that things, which was not helping me. I was looking at all that and I was becoming a victim. I was blaming people, blaming things, blaming God and all that kind of stuff. So at that point in time, unfortunately, a lot of people don't even come out of that state because they like that space, poor me, the victim, look at me, they want the world to sympathize with them and stuff like that. So it is very important to tread carefully and come out of it in a very gradual way. Okay, so what next mindset is about reaching that space where you are willing to ask what next. That means, okay, that's a place where you take 100% responsibility of. Sometimes, like my accident, I can't take 100% responsibility of the event because it was a mistake of the truck driver. But I had to take 100% responsibility of how I would move forward from there. So that's also a responsibility. Okay, people say that no, what happened was not my responsibility. That was not in my hand. That's fine. Sometimes it happens. But how you move forward, how I decide to move forward, that was 100% my responsibility. So it's about starting to, then what I did was that I started looking at, what is in my hands and what is not in my hands. Okay, what was not in my hands was when I would get discharged from there, when I would get back to my course and how my career would go. None of it was in my hands. Then I started looking at, okay, what's in my hands? What was in my hand was just about how I would spend each day. That was probably the only thing that I had in my hand. So then I started focusing on that. They had this Red Cross Society who would bring books. So I started picking books. One of my friends and course-mates, he came to Calcutta. He bought me a guitar. I started playing guitar in the hospital, much to the delight of we were a room with 4 people, and most of them were elders, much to their delight. And they'll say, please play something. After lunch, people are just relaxing. So, and I started befriending people because Calcutta was the nodal point for the entire East at that point in time. And I started listening to these amazing stories that people have been through with militants and terrorists and stuff like that. My whole outlook, my whole mindset and my every day changed. And the only difference was that how I looked at it. Nothing, everything else was the same. All this was available to me even before also. It's just that when I had to come to a state where I was willing to look forward and see what is available. That is the only time I started seeing all these things that was available to me. So there's always a lot of resources, a lot of people, a lot of help and love available to every one of us, even in the worst circumstances. We just need to be willing to look for it.
So tell me, you were married at the time, right?
No, I wasn't married. I wasn't
Oh,
married.
you weren't married. Oh, you were single. Yeah. So how about the impact on your family members? Mother, father, brothers, sisters, whatever.
Oh, my dad had just had a heart attack a few months back. So he was ideally not supposed to travel and come and see me. So, but my mother came to know that I was in ICU in Visakhapatnam. That's a different place. So she wanted to come, but I was listed. So they have this list in defense. That means extremely critically ill. So there is
Wow.
DIL and SL, dangerously ill and seriously ill. I was in the seriously ill list. So so they are bound to inform their next of kin, and so that they can come and meet their son. So, but I was about to get transferred to another place, Calcutta. They had the super specialty hospital. So they didn't know where to come. So anyway, that happened and they came. And meanwhile, my sister, I have two elder sisters, and they are much elder to me. So for them, I'm like their son. I mean, even now, they keep complaining to me. When we had our kids, we had to literally pluck you out and place them there. We have a very beautiful, very deep bond between the three of us. So she was in Delhi, and she called. My mother tried to tell her, please find out about him because he's just been shifted. So she called, and somehow it got connected. And look at the timing. And I was in the post-operative ward at that point in time, and I was screaming at the top of my voice. And she heard that, and she just cut the phone and she booked her tickets, and she also came. So
Wow.
it was a family reunion at
Yeah.
my hospital. So they were there for some time, and then they left, and then I had to really figure out how to take each day at a time and move forward.
Well, taking Raj's question, a little further with, the individual is going through so much trauma, but so is the family.
Yes.
And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was very true because like I said, my parents say that I was born after a lot of prayers and stuff like that. That's why there's a big age difference between my sisters and me. So I was like a precious child, and my mom was not very happy about me going to armed forces, but she didn't stop me or even complain that because this was my dream at that point in time. So yes, they did go through a harrowing time. And that was the time when my sister was giving birth, and she was in the US and she needed help. And at some point, I told my parents that I will take care of myself. You please go and take care of my sister. So they went abroad. So yeah, a lot of things were happening at that point also.
Yeah. And so when we're going through trauma, we need, I guess, to summarize this, we need to find the faith in ourselves and faith in God inside.
Oh, yes.
And then we also need to have that support from the outside.
Yes, very much. One is the physical support. So that, again, there are three levels. One is the physical support and help that we can get from outside. Then there is a logical support that we believe that, okay, things are going to change, and there's going to be a sunrise and stuff. But in all these things, there is one critical component that is very deep in our spirit. That only comes from God. When you have that faith that okay, I'm here maybe for something, I don't know what it is, but I just need to have my faith, and he will take me through. If he has put me here, he will take me through. And that, trumps all the other assurances that we have at a logical level or a physical level.
Absolutely. Well, Bimal, we're going to take another pause. And when we come back, I really want to talk about teen parenting.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's one of your pet topics. So we'll be right back, folks, for part 3.
Thank you.